Ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to share this with you because I know you're all very busy working and you're probably sitting like me at a desk, a little bit hunched over, and what happens is your spine compresses your discs. But you really want them apart so they can... I'm doing this right here over Dolly Parton. By the way, I'm going to show you this. It's been a very inspirational picture for me. I hope you can see this. I don't know. That woman, she is so awesome. But the thing is, if you just stand up, take a break, you can take small weights like this. These are not even 3 pounds. I think maybe they're not, maybe like 2 pounds or something like that. And there's this one movement that you can do standing up. You don't need no complicated yoga training gear. You don't need to change room. You just, you know, you will have your legs about shoulder wide apart or a bit wider. So you stand comfortably, support this movement. You can do 50 on each side. You can this is too much. It's too heavy. You shouldn't really be heavy. You should have like small weights. If this is still too much, just take like a, you know, these mini cans with juice or whatever. Start with that. Start with something light, because if you take heavy weights from the get-go, then you will just overstretch your joints and really hurt your skeleton. That's not very cool when you're already having back pain. So what you want to do is you want to do exercises that actually do this, right? Stretch this apart, bring this apart so you get some air, some oxygen on your discs and stop that pain. So what you do is you want to just, when you go down with the opposite hand like this, that will go to your knee. You can't see that, but you just bring it to your knee somewhere. Actually, in this movement right now, I'm passing my knees on the outside and I'm bringing in the knee on the other side a little bit. I'm moving my feet, so you can try this exercise in very different shapes. You know, you can keep the soles of your feet on the ground for a few of these stretches, and then you can also lift up your feet and maybe you just heard the release. I usually have all kinds of releases. That was another one. Just kind of like, you know, because what you're doing really is with your spine while you're like having this diagonal, kind of like a spiral kind of an ankle, and great this is, right? So what happens is it doesn't only go this way. Yeah, it doesn't only go this way, it goes this way. So we're turning in the opposite directions, which really makes for a very smooth coming apart. You know, it's not a sudden movement, it's just, it keeps turning and stretching further ahead as you do this, right? So as you keep certain parts of your limbs tight and straight and don't bend them, you will find that other parts of your tendons will be stretched. Okay, so even so, I'm doing the same exercise, the same movement. It has different effects on my body, whether or not I turn my legs around like this, turning my whole body. And this, by the way, if you're done with that, this is a really cool thing too. I'm just going to move this a little bit. You can just use the weight of these weights to pull out your arms a little bit, so then you really make this twisting movement, which is just like a winder to bring this apart. Oh, there it was. Did you hear that? Another release in my spine while I'm just shaking these weights around me and putting my leg, I don't know if you saw that, in the opposite direction. So just like this, I want to put this down a little bit further. Excuse me while I'm trying to arrange this. Still learning my craft here. So yeah, you just want to bring that leg over, right? So to the opposite direction. And you can also like kick it up if you want that. If you don't have any major injuries. That release, you certainly heard that. And that also is, accelerated by these circular acceleration that comes with a rotational movement, right? My weights, as long as I turn this way, are forced to the outside, which kind of like pulls my limbs out, so my shoulders get freed up. So all of this stuff, gets kind of freed up. The whole skeleton is kind of stretched out without even noticing that, in all kinds of different directions, in different places. Now, the other really good thing that this is doing is that for people who have a tendency to be hunched over while they are working for hours and hours, it's really cool to build up these muscles here, okay? There's a big muscle going from your shoulder caps right down to your rib cage to attach all this, and this is actually holding your shoulders up, right? So you have a problem holding your shoulders down, being hunched over like that. I have a problem with that. Then you do these exercises. I'm gonna show this again. Like, you do these exercises, right? So because this is the way you're supposed to be, and what that does, it makes the muscle hold up your shoulders, which also gives you a lot of air and room and frees up the pressure that is on your discs possibly. So try to get a routine with that. I recommend you do, as I said, light weights. Don't start with something very heavy because you're going to damage your joints. And then just do lots of numbers. Day 1 you can do 10 and 10 and 15, or 15 and 10 and 10. You take short little breaks. A few other exercises I also have. I'll show you that in the next video. And I'm just gonna leave you with that because it's such a really short little thing. It looks like one position only, and you can vary it in so many beautiful ways. You can do so much with this little movement. So I thought it could be nice, if like towards 2 o'clock in the afternoon you're sailing towards this really low energy slump that everybody goes through. And you shouldn't do it right after lunch when your stomach is full of blood, because that can't be in your muscles then. And if you want to move with your body a little bit, you should have a little blood to facilitate that. To drink a little bit of water before you do all this, that's a good idea actually. But wait after lunch maybe until 2 or 3 o'clock, and you have another 2 or 3 hours to go, maybe 4. You got to get through that afternoon in a productive way. So take a break, grab your small weights, light weights, stand up from your desk, put your feet shoulder wide apart, and then you can vary the angle. You see, I'm not doing it precisely the same way every time I move my arms to the back of the room. I don't have to, because you got to feel out what feels right for you and what is the right way to stretch, the right angle, how high you want to go up. You want to probably make sure that this part here, this part, like the palm, like the side of your palm, goes up. It should point towards the ceiling while you're doing these exercises, okay? So you want to have your elbow point up. That's a way of controlling that movement. That's a way of approaching the ideal or a very effective trajectory, you know? That's all it's supposed to do. It's going to free up the pressure that you have in your spine because you're too hunched over and you don't move around enough. So thanks very much for watching. I wish you a very productive end of your day or productive day tomorrow, and tune back in. I'm here, always there for you at misrepresented.net, where we always look for talent as well. So visit my website for the news. Actually, we're going to play tomorrow night at Grace O'Malley's in East Ottawa on Ugly Road. We're going to start around 7:30. It's going to be me, Mr. Superfat Pocket at GrooveGardens.net, Mr. Brian E. Downey on the drums, of course, and Michael Blackmore on the guitar, as well as first-time Blues Fest performer Benny Blue Griggs. So tune back in, guys, and subscribe right here, subscribe right there. Love y'all. Thanks, bye.